A reputable young chap with an affinity for weapons. Being a full-bred, full build with 250 points and weapons, the warriors acquired vast knowledge on the different weapons you can acquire in the game. From swords, to staves, to stolen sun-forged artifacts, the warrior makes up for his lack of knowledge in the magic and the fighting arts. Being a purebred build, the warrior is allowed to enjoy the game to its maximum extent, pondering about the different synergies he can acquire with his vast arsenal of weaponry. Unfortunately, this arsenal you are going to unfortunately have to acquire yourself. The warrior's power stems from the abilities he can use with his weapons, being able to pull off remarkable and magnificent tricks up his sleeve for whatever purpose he needs. And nothing can slow the warrior down except for his pathetic mobility. STDs, heavenly objects, sunken artifacts, custom-made weaponry, stolen artifacts, fish sticks, extra long fingernails, and whatever large thing that comes on a stick. The warrior can mix and match whatever he wants. And compared to the berserker and the mage, the warrior is allowed to have 3 different slots for his weapons. Short-range swords to mid-range swords to swords, birds, door, fern. This essentially makes the warrior one of the best builds for newer players who don't know how to play the game yet. Because the warrior is essentially a time capsule of greatness depending on what weapons you unlock later on. And these weapons can benefit you both in PvP situations and PvE situations, which makes the warrior the greatest, not really PvP nor PvE build, but both at the same time. Beyond the borderless world of the War Seas comes the Dark Seas, which the warrior excels at, given his aptitude for bows and arrows, allowing him to quickly pinpoint and shoot down whatever Atlanteans come into his way. The warrior's ability to play both short range and long range allows him to be a master at all Dark Sea situations, and the warrior's shield allows him to block even the most powerful attacks that the enemies can bring upon him. In contrast to mage and berserker stereotypes, the warrior is allowed to change his weapons, styles, and techniques at the palm of his hand without any extra work, thus making the warrior one of the most capable and versatile builds. Although being unable to use magic and not being a very good meta when it comes to PvP, the warrior instead acts as a sort of all-star to whatever forms of attacks that comes against him, given his high adaptability, of course. With a bow and shield, the warrior also proves the most powerful and efficient against bosses, being able to farm boss items with ease and acquire whatever forms of boss itemry that they want. Although without the right gear stats, you might find yourself in a bit of a pickle. The warrior is an extremely powerful class when it comes to making the extremely advanced extremely simple. So if you find yourself confused on what build to play as, I insist you just put all your points into warrior, given the warrior's extremely adaptable situations.